efficiency, the volume, and the stakes. That was Nikola Jokic's magnum opus so far in the NBA, and the Nuggets needed it because this defense requires it.
Magnum opus, Perk.
That statement game last night, that statement by Nikola Jokic, that wasn't just to the Minnesota Timberwolves. That wasn't just to the rest of the teams that are in the postseason. That statement was to the all-time greats to let them know that he's coming for their spots. And when I say all-time greats, I'm thinking about the center position. I'm talking about, damn it, Hakeem Olajuwon and Shaquille O'Neal. Let me explain something to you. I believe that Nikola Jokic is already the most skilled center we have ever seen touch the damn basketball. But with 3 MVPs, 1 final MVP, one NBA championship, if he goes on to win another NBA championship,
okay, let's get into this one right here. That's right. You heard it first from Big Dummy Perk.
All NBA caliber player.
Elizabeth,
he moves up into the ranking, and I believe he becomes a top 10 player of all
this
time.
Big Dummy.
Hey, Perk.
You got the big fundamental, and then you got the Big Dummy Perk. Wow, this guy is a straight idiot and a front runner, right? A front runner. And he's been listening to other people's channels like mine, but he couldn't say it right. So he said Joker will move up into the top 10 if he wins his championship in the finals MVP because he had no all-star teammate and no all-NBA teammate. But we took it further, said no Hall of Fame teammate, no defensive all-NBA teammate. So, and we also said that if he beats goes on to be OKC or the Mavs and the Celtics, and plus he ended up beating LeBron in back-to-back seasons, a gentleman sweep in a sweep going against in that series against the Lakers, going against the refs, Adam Silver, LeBron flopping all over the place and crying all over the place. I think they beat KD last year with Booker. Let's see what else. Them having to beat Minnesota this year, I think that would be the greatest back-to-back finals runs of all time. Now, am I saying this guy is going to be a top 10 player? Well, of course not. You're going to take out who? You're going to take out Hakeem? You're going to take out Bird? You're going to take out Magic? You're going to take out Wilt? You're going to take out Russell? You're going to take out Kobe? You're going to take out Jordan? Magic? Kareem? Did I say Hakeem? Did I say Larry Bird? No. You guys got to stop. He says this the greatest skill player of all time. Well, let's look at this, right? First 9 seasons, we're going to look at guys like Duncan, Hakeem, Wilt. We're going to look at Russell, and we're going to look at Kareem. So, no all-NBA defensive teams for this guy, right? For Joker. Only 4 all-NBA first teams. While Duncan has 8 all-NBA first teams his first 9 seasons, 6 defensive first teams, and was a rookie of the year, right? No statistical titles. But we look at Hakeem, 4 all-NBA first teams. You got to see who this guy was going against, right? Defensive player of the year, 4-time defensive first team. Did I say the first time defensive first team? It was 4-time all-NBA first team for Hakeem. Rookie first team, and then you got 2 rebound champ, 3 block leaders, and then you go down to Kareem. What we got? 2-time defensive first team, rookie first team, 6-time all-NBA first team, rookie of the year, 1-time rebound leader, 1-time blocks leader, 2-time scoring champ. You got Bill Russell, 4-time rebound leader, 3-time all-NBA first team. Of course, you just for the hell of it, this guy was 5-time MVP on top of that. For Wilt, 7-time all-NBA first team. I think he had the rookie of the year. 7-time scoring champ, 8-time rebound champ, 1-time rebound champ? No, 1-time assist champ, and 1-time. Oh, that's the NBA champ. So I was trying to leave championships out of it. So, no. This guy is not the most skilled center of all time. as Kendrick Perkins is running around saying this. Where was this guy? He wasn't saying this last year. This guy is front running. These guys, these centers in the past didn't have the luxury to just sit out on the perimeter or sit at the free throw line and hand the ball off to somebody 70% of the game and get the assist. They actually had point guards. So when we think about great assist leaders, we think about maybe like a Chris Paul, like a Jason Kidd, like a Magic Johnson, like a Steve Nash. These type of guys, we don't think about Joker. He's not running the offense. All he is doing is really handing the ball off to these guys and they're shooting the ball. Right? As far as his points, what great center is he going against that these other great centers had to go against on a nightly basis? The centers in the 90s, which to me, I think that was the greatest centers of all time. Where's the Alonzo Mournings? Where's the Dikembe Mutombos? To me, Tim Duncan is the center. Where's the Tim Duncans? Where's the Wilt? Where's the Russells? Where's the Rick Smiths? Where's the Kareems? Where's the Shaqs? Where's all these type of guys that Joker is going up against? Tell me. I will be the first to give this guy mad credit all the time on my channel, but we got to back up. We are steady comparing eras to piss people off. These guys are playing a totally different style of basketball. 4 guys come down and run to the three-point line and only 1 guy in the middle. So your rebounds are inflated. Your points are inflated. And they're, of course, inflating assists, him and Luka, when they got the ball in their hand 70% of the time. And remember, this is the NBA that LeBron James created, the 27, 7, and 7. You don't have to get statistical titles to be great anymore. But these guys, Joker and Luka, have taken it to the next level. So no, if you believe anything Kendrick Perkins or any of these guys say, some of these YouTube channels, which I'm just like floored by what these guys are saying. I'm not going to say any names, but a lot of these guys are front running. You need to specify in his own era. Because he couldn't do this to Hakeem. We already know this. He couldn't do this to Duncan. He couldn't do this to David Robinson. He couldn't do this to Patrick Ewing. He couldn't do this to Alonzo. I'm trying to tell you guys, stop it. Stop it. These are some of the greatest defenders of all time. Wilt Chamberlain would throw his shit in the second row. Bill Russell. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Even Shaq. You heard what Big Dummy Perk said, right? He dissing Shaq now. More skilled than Hakeem, he said, and then he said Shaq. So wow, you're gonna see Shaq. Shaq and Big Dummy Perk beefing pretty soon. Get ready. A lot of people might not like Shaq, but no. Bro, I'm gonna show you this footage. Maybe the next time I do a video. I saw Shaq do a 360 dunk. Open court, 360 dunk, open court. I've never even seen LeBron do a 360 dunk. I'm gonna look this up. I've never seen LeBron do a 360 dunk. Shaquille O'Neal at 300 and what? Maybe 310 pounds back then, did a 360 dunk open court. It was incredible. I would love to see Joker do a 360 dunk. These guys these great centers of the past never had the luxury to play defenders, go against defenders with no defending skills. They never had that. If the guys in the 80s and 90s put forth the kind of defensive skills that these guys put up, it would be no NBA today, folks. Sorry. It would be over. It would be a wrap. So I'm not going to hold you on that one. I just found this to be funny. These guys need to keep a job. We don't want to hear you backpedaling and backstep and all this stuff. Now, the Perks and all these guys. No, you dissed this guy. I'm just laying out the criteria. I can back up my claims. When you look at this and when you look at the first 9 seasons of these guys' careers, Joker ain't on that level, homie. I'm not trying to say he's not a great player. He's a great player in his own era. That's what we got to realize. We can't start comparing eras. All we can do is take out who was great in that era and put them with the greats. because all we knew is from basically from the beginning, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 2000s, and most of the 2010s, these guys played what they play, high percentage basketball. They didn't sit out there and shoot the three. Four guys sitting at the 3-point line. This wasn't American NBA. They done brought a Euro League over here, and now they're trying to compare great players that played American basketball to this new Euro League style basketball. You can't do that. They didn't have the luxury of having no defense played on them. These guys are one-way players, right? And the defense gets exposed when you got a guy like Rudy Gobert who's getting rolled up by a guy who can't even jump 2 feet off the ground or a foot off the ground. Choker, right? When you have guys scared to partake in the slam dunk contest. Luka just walking down the lane doing layups and shooting in the greatest athletes of all time in their face, right? So the defense in this era is just totally exposed. All the media does is tell you the opposite of what's really the truth. It's the media. They tell you the opposite of the truth. They didn't have to do that when we watched basketball back in the day. It was what it was. The high percentage shot was what? In the paint. Second high percentage shot was the mid-range. And the third shot you want to go for, of course, is the three-pointer. So, it like I said, it's a whole different era. When we start dissing eras, this is when stuff goes bad. And we started doing this when LeBron kept losing and losing and losing and losing and losing. They start dissing other eras because this guy became a loser. Yes, he could skate his way through the East playing nobody and get smashed when he plays great competition. He's supposed to be up to the level of that great competition if you're a great player. You got your team, let's go. He wasn't able to live up to that great competition. We could even say Jordan's East was weak. It was weak. Jordan's East was weaker in the 90s than it was in the 80s, right? But we look at the West, that thing was off the chain, but ultimately, Jordan still beat the West. That's what we're looking at. The West was deeper, have better players, but Jordan ultimately beat the West. So no more excuses. So yeah, this is just crazy what these people say, man. They don't use no kind of context. They just say stuff. They don't give you zero context. They just say a whole bunch of nonsense. And most of these NBA players of the past, they're handcuffed. They can't say too much because you got to remember, these guys are still getting paychecks, pensions, and probably their insurance paid from the NBA. Some of them don't need it, but you know, they're told not to say nothing, just to hype this era up. We didn't never have to say nothing in the 80s and 90s and bash on the 70s and 60s and 50s. Even in the 90s, we didn't have to bash on the 80s. We all knew the prior era before that was the standard. All we had to do was go above that standard, go above that bar and try to meet it and go over it. We didn't have to diss it and say, oh, these guys couldn't do that. These guys want this. The problem is, once we got to the 2000s, these guys in the 2000s never reached the bar or the standard that was set in the 90s or the 2010s. So that's when they start dissing their own product, the NBA. Just to make it sell. So you guys tell me what you think, man. Big Dummy Perk.